Okay, turned out I forgot to press the record button. So I guess I will have to do some of this again for the video. Never mind. Hi there again and welcome to my channel. I forgot to start recording at the beginning. I'm starting it now. That's why I'm saying hi again to everybody. But never mind. So we talked about the set analysis. I deleted the syntax. Never mind. We have enough syntax as of this. Okay, so actually we have here now used set analysis inside an expression. Okay, we used the identifier 1, which tells qlik actually what set of records of values you're going to calculate this expression according to. And the identifier that is called 1 is actually the entire set of values in all the fields, but when it is reference used inside an expression, it actually means all the values of this field. Okay, I can if I would put this set analysis expression in another calculation with a different field, let's say total costs, it is now influencing the selection, the possible values to calculate in the total cost field. Okay, so only total cost values that are associated, all the values of the field total cost will be included in the calculation of this expression when I use the one identifier. We have a few more identifiers, but actually they are not usable usually. We have another identifier which is called dollar sign. Don't confuse that with the dollar expansion sign. The dollar identifier represents the set of values in all the fields, but specifically in the field that I'm using inside the expression, that is influenced by the current selection. So using set analysis, we identify a dollar, or not using set analysis at all is the same. Okay, so if I put the dollar here, and let's take this expression and put it here. Without the dollar, here I have it with the dollar, and here I have it with another dollar. Let's put it here with the dollar sign, and you see it gives me the same number, because it's by default, if I don't use an identifier, if I don't use anything in set analysis, it always working on the current selection. So these two formulas are exactly the same. Now let's start, and here comes the most interesting part. There is another section or segment or part of set analysis except identifier. Just for references, there are more identifiers, but most of them I work with qlik, I don't know, since the beginning of set analysis. I think 10 or 11 years, or I don't know, 7 years, and I've never used them, so I will not mention them. What we can do is we can take the identifier, which represents a certain set of values, and we can modify it. We can fine-tune it. We can start with the set of values that is associated with the current selection, but we can also expand on it. Not expand, fine-tune it. I will explain, but modify it actually. So right now the current selections is this 7 city names. Let's add a field of year, to the chart. And clear this, and let's select, let's say, I don't know, 214 and 2014 and 2015. So now the same thing. Qlik calculates the values of total sales, only those values that are associated with these two values that I've selected inside the year. Okay, but now I want to fine-tune it. What do I mean fine-tuning? I want to take this expression, because here I have the drawer, and I want to modify it. I want to tell it, okay, you start with the current selection, but I want you to make another selection. Okay? And I do this by putting an expression inside triangle brackets. Okay, the larger and smaller and larger signs together, and here I put an expression, and I will explain how we do it. This expression that I put here is always comprised of two parts. It has to have some kind of field name. I will select city name. Then comes the equal sign. Then come another pair of curly brackets, and inside I put what is called an element list. What do I mean by that? I put a list of values that I want to tell qlik sense to select in the field that I have in the left side of the equal sign. So I actually tell qlik, I want you to take the current selections, which is years 2014 and 2015, but I want to make another selection in the field city name and call it ABBA. I want only cities that have ABBA inside them. But I want you to start it with the current selections. Okay, so see if I read. Don't have ABBA? Okay, so what happens here? Let's just for this, we will talk about the other one later. What happens? Let me tell you. We will change the formula here. I will explain what happened when I go deeper inside, but we will just for now use Abadan instead. Okay? Then we clear this. Okay, and see what happens when I clear this. When I select this, I have the same value. Remember, this is the sum of sales without any set analysis. This is the sum of sales, and it is influenced by the selection of these 2 years, right? You see, when I clear the selection in the years, I get another number here. Let's go back. This selection, however, is also influenced by the current selection, is also influenced by the selections in the field year of 2014 and 2015, but is also influenced by the selection in the city name. Okay, you tell me, but this is the same as here. But what happens if I don't select anything in the city name? This expression still calculates the expression as if I have selected Abadan in the city name. So actually I told it to start with the current selection, which is 2014 and 2015 in this case, but make a selection, another selection in the field city name and select Abadan. If I now clear the year selection, I will see that I still get a different number here and here, because here it is now not influenced by the 2014 and 2015, but it is still affected by the selection of Abadan in the city name. What happens, do you think, if I will select Abba? You see, first of all, why I didn't get anything when I did this, because actually what I'm telling it here is I don't want you to make a selection in the city name. I want you to make a selection, another selection in the city name, and Abadan. So this formula, this expression stays the same, while this expression is 0 because the city of Abba has no sales. Okay, in every year. Let's see what happens if I say Bakuta. Bakuta has sales. Abakuta. Abeokuta. This one have something in the cell, so we get, if we are not using any set analysis, we get this number. But this one still makes it still is considered, it actually calculates only on the values of total sales that are associated with the city of Abadan. So, unfortunately, I see that there are not enough people today in the chat. So I was planning on going on for longer, but I will cut it here, and I will record separately the continuation of this tutorial, and I will upload it to YouTube together with what I did here. And hopefully next time, next week, we will have more viewers, and I will say good night for you now, and see you. Thank you very much for viewing, those of you who did view. And if you have anything to say to me after that, please leave a note. I will read all the comments. And good night, everybody.